that they wanted for him in the English dub compared to kind of the more eccentric showmanship that he was doing in the Japanese. And I struggled with that for a while, but that was where I learned to work with the team and let them guide me where I needed to go until I felt confident taking over the reins for myself. The Great Deku Tree was a perfect example of like finding the confidence in myself, because originally when we did callbacks they had us prep up to 3 character voices, and originally when I did 2 they said great thanks, and I asked if I could do my 3rd, and they asked who it was, and when I said the tree they were like, oh, we got big guys for that, we got people, you know, big hefty. And it was the first time in my professional career that I politely but firmly went, that's great, you told me to prepare 3, I'd like to do my 3rd character, please. And so now it was like, now you better have made a strong choice for this. And I knew I couldn't do the same big baritone voice that someone with a bigger chest could do. So instead I went, what does old and wispy and wise sound like? And that's why how I came up with relaxing myself and going all the way down here, just very wide open mouth, and that blew them away because
that sound. It's just a
right.
Great,
it's surprising.
It's
and then Teba was the one where it was like, this is so funny to me, because when I saw his design in my brain, I went, I know exactly what he sounds like. There's a similar character, but it's a different personality. Using that info to make those adjustments, and I laughed because back then it was just me being excited, going, oh, I know what he sounds like to me. But in reality, it was me telling a big corporation, shh, sit down, I got this. And then doing it and them going, yeah, that works for us, it's pretty good. So it's crazy to think about, but that's the element of play that we as actors enjoy so much is, you know, we may not have the artistic ability all the time to create, you know, what's just a thought in our heads and then put it onto paper, but to see something and be able to give it life through our voice and make it more real to people, that's so exciting.
It's so exciting.
Great Deku Tree has not had an English voice since the beginning of the Legend of Zelda franchise, and it is unreal to me that out of 7.85 billion people, it's a lot of pressure. But you got to let the excitement and the passion take over, because if you think about it in that term, you're going to get too scared to take a leap.
You know, earlier I said I want vines coming out of my arm. I actually want the Great Deku Tree coming out of my arm. There we are.
Right. 900 Korok kids.
On my arm. Yeah.
Just shoot a spray of Korok seeds at people.
Just like all over the place.
Next question.
Yeah. So. With news of a Legend of Zelda movie on the horizon, who would you like to see play your roles? Obviously, with ones that would be CG, would you try to show elbow in and be like,
Keanu Reeves. Chris Pratt, no. As who?
Yeah.
Anyone.
Any of your roles, who would you like to see play them in the movie?
I can't actually answer that seriously. Like I won't have
Who do people want as Cable in the Deadpool movies? He's got like a very chiseled face, grey beard.
Josh Brolin.
Huh?
Stephen Lang was what the fan.
Stephen Lang was
Stephen
the fan
Lang.
cast, yeah.
I don't think, was it Stephen Lang?
Josh Brolin was him in the movie, though.
Josh Brolin played him in the movie. But
Okay,
the fans
yeah.
I want him for Darunia, or for like one of the Gorons. I feel like he could do a really good job with that.
Who would you like to see? I'm curious, because I get this question sometime, and I'm like, it's not really something that I would answer about, like, who do I see as a... I feel like Nintendo knows what they want, and Miyazaki films, you know, influence, plus the director, Wes Ball, and Shigeru Miyamoto, heavily involved. Like, they're going to come up with something awesome, I'm sure. But, so I'm just like, I'll wait and see, like, whatever that's going to be. You know?
Right. We try to not to ever make any assumptions, because I'm sure a lot of people wonder, would you come back for the movie? First of all, that's not our decision to make.
Yeah.
But we are always grateful for the chance to get to reprise roles, but we also understand that different companies want to make different decisions about different things. So
I didn't play anything with Nintendo ever. Like I love working with them.
yeah.
Yeah. Voice of Korok, I would do, you know.
We often
seriously.
we learn at the same time as everybody else. So yeah.
Jack, any questions back?
Yeah, going back to Tingle, if no,
You're gonna make me do the butt wiggle on camera at this
if
rate.
they did live action, they turned around to you, Sean, and went, "We want you to be the live action Tingle." Would you do it?
There you go. I'm ready to go. Listen. I've been in the Under Armour. I've been in the skin tight single color suit. I've watched those videos. Put me in, coach. I will do the audition. I think I'm a little tall for the role. I think they have some better options. Or they can always CGI, but I like authenticity whenever possible. But never say never, you know? Try everything once.
Mocap suits are really similar to.
I would
Taylor,
want
in a way,
them.
too.
I would want them to
Mocap
rig
little.
the firecracker confetti like in the butt cracks, so that when I jut it out at the last little hip thrust, that it, goes out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how difficult is it to voice your characters, considering that Link is mostly silent besides some like cups and grunts? And who would you like to see voice Link?
She probably wishes I was mostly silent during these interviews.
I'm a silent princess. You make up for it. It's all fine. It's totally
Right.
It's funny. I actually never have a clear vision for who I think Link should be. I see the animated drawing and I'm like, that's Link. I don't think about it too much. It's weird. Yeah. And what was your other question? Was what? Sorry.
If it's difficult to voice act,
difficult to voice act.
Yeah.
Everything that we do in terms of dubbing and so much video game work, it's all done where most of it is done without other people in the room. So
Sometimes we won't even have contextual lines surrounding our
It's true.
characters, where we will get the info from the director on what context the line has, but there are times when we will get the whole scene and we can see who we're responding to. There are times when it's literally just a sheet of our characters' lines, like 200, 250, and we just go through them one by one with no surrounding context.
Yeah.
So for many games, if it sounds like everyone was in the room having the actual conversation with each other, that just means it's a bunch of really good actors who know how to make it sound
Yeah.
realistic.
And editors and people of the team who choose
Yes.
which intonation of which take that they want to put together. So it almost would be strange to have reactions of two people, because so often you are just giving several variations of the line, and then they sometimes are choosing this long after the fact or changing it around based on what they need at that time. So it makes more sense to be able to just actually take direction in a room and imagine. That would almost be better sometimes than having somebody to react directly.
I would almost argue that in a franchise like Zelda, where the protagonist is known for being silent, that it's almost a little easier to kind of play up characterizations, because I've always treated, especially Breath of the Wild, I treat it as Nintendo's version of Mad Max, where the story is never really about the main character, it's about the world that the main character is involved in. In Mad Max...
What do you mean?
What? I'm like, did I say something wrong? They explore, they discover a tribe or a group or someone that has their own issue, they find out what the issue is, they assist those people, and then here's the important part, they move on. And it's that kind of moving on and leaving them behind that goes, oh, there was that experience, and it leaves you, the viewer, the player, with like, but I enjoyed that world, I wonder what else they get up to. And that kind of, that longing, that passion, that desire to wonder what if is what keeps the project alive beyond what the main character does, because it's not about them, it's about everyone that they've gotten involved with over their time. So
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, I think there's a scheduling clash. You need to be at your next appointment.
Do we have photo ops or something? Anyway.
But thank you so much. You were wonderful. The questions and the
thank you.
answers were great.
I hope
So
you
thank
all practice your
for-
hip thrusts and your butt checks for me.
Yeah.
I want to see all of you in that audition room. Team Tingle, baby.
Team Tingle.
Give them the tingle.
We need a shirt that says that, actually. We should wear it.
I want a shirt that says,
Team
I'm going to give them
Tingle.
the tingle. We'll see how that goes.
Just gonna have a great time with that.
Oh, dear. Thank you, guys. Lovely.
Thank you. This was a pretty fun group. I was expecting stuff like, how did you get into voice acting? But this was really good.